Live from New York, it's the show that is still recovering from a very contentious morning meeting.
Oh.
First things first. I'm very nervous. Are you willing to guarantee a Wolves victory?
For the audience, this is what bothered me in the morning. Guarantee?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to guarantee a victory? Can a brother just believe? Can a brother just have confidence, feel good about their chances?
Yeah, I mean.
Can I just do that?
Sure.
I got to guarantee a victory. Here's what I'm telling you. I am picking the Timberwolves, and I am picking them with my chest out with bass in my voice. All right? I'm picking them.
Okay.
I believe they're going to win. Now, here's the thing, too. I believe, Nick, they can win because I don't foresee both Kyrie. I don't even see Kyrie necessarily having another bad game, right? Mm-hmm. He got some flack, not a ton, but some people pointed out, oh, you said it was their Super Bowl, it was just a regular game to you. Were you not as motivated as you should have been, right? Did you take them lightly? And Luka said they didn't have energy either. Mm-hmm. So I don't see both of them having bad games. But here's the thing for the Timberwolves when I'm picking them. They can beat them if they don't have bad games. What they can't do is have Karl Anthony Towns have a bad game.
True.
All right, because the first 3 games, Luka and Kyrie both played well, and they were decided by 13 points total. All right, obviously the Timberwolves had chances to win either of those games. So Karl Anthony Towns is the key. I believe he will come out. He is on notice. Everybody in the country is watching him. He will come out, I think, and play well. I also think, Nick, they're at home. I know they lost the first 2 there. Are they going to lose 3 games at home?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so. They were good home. They were one of the best home teams in the regular season.
But in the playoffs, they haven't.
Playoffs, they haven't been. But they didn't lose 3 to Denver at home. They lost 2 out of 3. So I think they get home. And they've also been good with their backs against the wall. True. I mean, they're 3-0 in the elimination game. So I got the Wolves.
Okay, so listen, I'll get to the guarantee part in a bit because
You're guaranteeing?
No. I said I'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to respond to your analysis with some of my own because I like the Mavs tonight. Lively, I think, is going to play.
He's still questionable.
He's questionable, right? Yes. But given his comments, he spoke earlier today and said I moved around well. It seemed, and the fact that he avoided concussion protocol, and I suppose I'll give Dallas the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't concussed. It looked to me from my couch like that was a concussion. They said it was just a neck sprain, and a neck sprain you can come back from in this amount of time. A concussion be far harder. We know Kleber's going to play, and I'm not acting like he is. And
he didn't look ready.
He didn't
look
right.
100%.
And so, but I think that was almost guaranteed in his first game back. I don't think that was because he came back too early from the AC joint. I think just you haven't played in a month. You're in all of a sudden you're in that level of game. So I think he'll be a little bit better. But most importantly, I think Luka and Kyrie are not going to shoot 33% from the field again.
Agreed.
And while Dallas has been better on the road than at home, Minnesota's been worse at home than on the road, and Luka is a already all-time great road postseason performer from an individual statistics standpoint. Obviously, he has to win more. I understand that. But LeBron, Michael, Elgin, Jerry, Durant, Steph. That is the entire list in NBA history of people with more road playoff 40-point games than Luka Doncic, and Luka's 25 years old. So I like Dallas's chances tonight. I also go ahead, Wildes.
No, I'm waiting for the guarantee.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Are you guaranteeing it?
Well, I am guaranteeing, as much as one can guarantee about events that haven't happened, which is what I will get to, that Dallas wins this series. I think Brew, hold on, just wait a moment.
I'm being quiet. I'm not even on camera. They don't even know I did that.
Brew's hesitation on guaranteeing this is because he can't I get it. You can't literally guarantee it.
Thank you.
I get that. So I propose,
because
Wildes wants us to have stakes on these games and things like that.
I got stakes.
If you feel as confidently as you feel.
Yeah.
But 10 toes down is short of a guarantee. I didn't know there was anything
more. I can't guarantee.
Right. So how about this? What about a dunce cap guarantee?
No.
Hold on. What about?
What is that?
If you feel strongly enough
Did you bring
about
that in from home?
If you feel strongly enough about any game, or like I just did with the series,
okay.
that if you are proven wrong, The next day in the A block, you wear that.
We're not.
What? What's the problem here? What's the problem, Wildes?
He didn't want to do a guarantee with
because
no
I
stakes
can't
whatsoever.
guarantee.
Right, so that's right. So it's not a real
Kyrie
guarantee.
Irving, Luka
It's just, I
Doncic,
feel so strong.
Anthony Edwards
I
can't
feel so
guarantee.
strongly about it that if I'm wrong, tomorrow to start the show, I'll wear this.
If you want to wear it, I'm not wearing it.
I'm not.
If they lose.
I didn't even love my green tie yesterday.
Okay. All right. So Wildes, you would have done that for the Nuggets in the 7-game series, though. That's how strongly you felt.
Well,
exactly. So I'm just trying to see how strong.
I feel strong.
You feel. Oh, well, then there's no risk there.
No, remember he tried to
My hair
get me.
is different than y'all.
He tried to get me.
Y'all can just fling it around and
shave my head.
Yeah, again, I was willing to put that out there.
The stakes are too high.
There are no stakes.
He does stakes that fit him.
What do you mean?
He's had a shaved head recently.
Exactly.
Not that
This doesn't fit me.
You probably look great.
This doesn't fit
You probably
me.
look great. You probably tried it on. I'm like, I look awesome.
Right. He liked it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So Brew is.
I'll wear the sweater with the colors that you got us. Yeah,
Okay,
you want to do that?
You just will look out resplendent.
Yeah,
that's not a
Tatum.
No, I'm very confident. But I can't go out there and guarantee unless I was going to be out there playing. And even then, you can't guarantee.
You were playing on the road.
No, I'm saying Luka,
And
Kyrie, they cannot guarantee it. How can I see a guarantee?
So here's the good news for the Mavs as we move on. No team has ever come back from down 0-3. In fact, out of the 155 teams down 0-3, only 11 have gotten to Game 6 ever. But the Mavs lost again. Just hypothetical. Should Dallas fans be nervous?
No, they're not. Guys, they are the better team. I don't think it is massively better.
It's close.
But they are the better team. They have, by a wide margin, the best player in the series. That player, Dust, if we can show Luka off a loss in his playoff career, what he does is score more points than any player in playoff history off a loss. We have that. There it is, 34 points per game, much less off consecutive losses. And all Luka needs, all he needs his whole career, can a teammate score 20? When he doesn't have a teammate score 20, he, like most people would be, has a terrible record. It's 3-10. When they do, he wins 2 out of every 3. He's 20-11. And so now you're in a spot where, is Kyrie going to have 4 consecutive bad games? No. Is Luka going to have back-to-back-to-back-to-back subpar efficiency games? No. And to the point you were raising earlier, Minnesota, this at home, is not that scary. And so the whole idea of, if they lose tonight, they might have to face a Game 7 theoretically at home. If we can show Minnesota home versus road, Minnesota at home this postseason is below 500.
But if there's a Game 7, now that would mean they lose Game 6 too.
Yeah.
If they were to lose Game 6,
guys,
you can't say I would think a Mavs fan would be nervous.
Can you tell me if you agree with me, Brew, and then I'll shut up. It feels to me like every series that we've ever talked about where it's 3-0, everyone acknowledges the series is over.
True.
And then the moment, if we get a 5th game, if the team down 0-3 wins Game 4, then this exact conversation is the one that is had, which is, well, if they now win tonight, then all of a sudden, and we do all these histrionics.
Because nobody other than you was saying that when the Lakers won Game 4.
But
no one thought.
So you're also going back to Denver. Now you're going back to Minnesota, where they have home court advantage for the rest of the series.
Okay, they've got games. They've got games to play with. So look, if they lose tonight, you're a tad bit nervous if you're a Mavericks fan, because this has happened before. Not obviously they didn't lose a series, but going way back to 2003, Dirk Nowitzki was in Dallas. They were up 3-0 on Portland when Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells, a couple other guys were there. And Portland won the next 3, and then Dallas won Game 7. Of course, that was at home. Game 7 was in Dallas. So the fans, at least the long-time ones, have seen this happen before. And I think, Nick, the fact that the teams are pretty evenly matched, if Minnesota wins this game tonight, I agree. You don't have to panic because you still got a loss to play with. But I do think fans will start getting nervous if they force a game 6.
A little bit.
And that would be the game because game 7, I think a lot of people would like Minnesota.
Well, I think, and again, you got a little, I think, irritated me yesterday, and I didn't mean it to. I think every game in this series, you're going to like Minnesota. And to be fair, every game in this series thus far, I've liked Dallas. So I get that. There is a weird thing when you think, when a person can say, I think my team's going to win this series 4-2. But then before each game, no one's think this is going to be one of the 2 losses. Before each game, usually think my team's going to win this game, the team that I thought was better. And so I understand that. Also, if there is a game 6, it's not going to be, I know he was invited back, but it's not going to be Mike and those guys in those seats. It's going to be Mahomes back there for a game 6. And they're not going to lose in front of Mahomes and crew. Give me a break.
You don't think Mavericks will be able to get a front row
maybe he
seat?
will, but those specific seats, Mahomes will be back in if there is a game 6.
And he'll be wearing the AE ones, too.
Guys, also, for the best player in a series to choke it away is, I don't want to say unprecedented, but incredibly rare. Even the famous 3-1, that was not the best player in the series.
Okay, but Durant did it in the conference finals if you think he's better than Steph.
But that year, I don't think people did. Steph was a unanimous MVP that season on a 73-win team.
He was viewed as a better player.
In that moment, I think Steph was viewed as the best player in the world in that moment. He's
okay, then Steph
unanimous MVP.
All right, how about this one? This one you'll engage with. Last time they had their backs up against the wall in Minnesota, Denver can close it out. They were up by 50 at one point.
Yes.
So I know Luka's a great, playoff performer on the road, but the last time we saw Minnesota here, they really decided to stomp Denver, and I was like, oh.
So you're saying
50.
if they stomp Dallas tonight?
Stomp.
Yeah, so I think that Denver team was understandably in a very emotional and energy-placed different spot than this Mavs team. That Denver team treated this entire playoffs like, we'll win when we have to.
Yeah, I guess so.
And to their credit, it worked until it didn't. They did have a 20-point lead in Game 7, and then all of a sudden, it got away from them. They were the defending champs. Their second-best player was having a bad postseason. They had a lot of things working against.
I think he was actually really banged up.
Possibly, whatever it is. And we know he was at least somewhat banged up. Maybe he was really banged up. That is not where Dallas is. Dallas, understandably, did not have the intensity, just like, by the way, Boston didn't have the intensity of Indiana in that Game 4 with no Halliburton. It's just that Boston was able to steal it at the end. Like, that is, to me, it is very difficult.
It's human nature.
Yes,
if you're
Denver didn't have the intensity of the Lakers up 3-0 in that series.
But that's what they have to fight against because they do have such room for error, they're going to have to fight against that again tonight.
Okay. Under pressure. Feels like Cat was under the most pressure in Game 4. Which player is under the most pressure tonight?
I'd be shocked if you two didn't agree with me. It's Karl Anthony Towns.
No, I disagree.
Like, to me, it is clear on him. We know Anthony Edwards is obviously their best player. But if he struggles, he'll catch a little flack. But you know what? Eventually, everybody will come around. He's 22. He's learning. He got him to the conference finals, all right? So he will be fine. Karl Anthony Towns is the one that all summer, I don't think he will get traded if they lose. But he's going to have to hear the rumors. They will be out there. They might listen to some teams. I don't know if they'll shop him a little bit.
What would a trade even look like?
Well, I don't think he will get traded. A lot of people are talking. That's why I don't think they do it. And look, Cat is 29. Is he 29? He's still young. He's never been past the first round until this year. So I think they'll look at it like, look, he can learn as well. And they just got to work with him to stop making the dumb fouls. Well, and look, I'll say that the numbers are clear. I said it yesterday. 7-1 when he gets 18 or more points. 2-5 when he scores under 18. But here's the interesting thing, Nick. When he scores more, he fouls more. So I don't know if that's related. It seems like that would be related to level of aggression. In the 7 games or 8 games where he's had 18 or more points, all of them he had at least 4 fouls. All right, one of them he fouled out just a recent game, and 3 times he had 5 fouls. In the games he goes under 18 points, In 4 of them, he is 7 games. In 4 of them, he only had 2 fouls.
That's interesting.
And only one he had 4.
So he's just like
and
not
it's like he
in,
gets less.
Or is it
less
just like
aggressive.
an offensive? I mean, I know you don't have put you on the spot, but I wonder if it's like an offensive foul.
Well, he gets every type of foul.
Sometimes he
player
gets right. He
I mean,
gets
there's
silly
no.
fouls.
It felt like in this game where he fouled out, he had 5
a lot of
totally
offensive.
different types of fouls. But Wild.
No, I thought it was Ant. So here's Ant's numbers that we broke down: games 1 and 2 versus games 3 and 4. That he felt like he was coming on, but you're like, oh, good. He's now at his peak. Except in the Phoenix series, he scored 33, 36, and 40. In Denver, granted they were losses, scored 43 and 44. And in this series, he's yet to score 30. He's at 29. He's been knocking on the door. But are we going to see an amazing performance, or are we going to see 25 and 7?
So
it's just like, oh, great. But stop with the Kobe Jordan stuff.
Okay.
I know he's 22.
Yeah,
then stop with the Jordan.
No, hold on. But
I do, but you can't. Then stop.
Wait, hold on.
Then why are people doing it?
Because, hold on, real quick. Because they know that Michael Jordan didn't win a playoff series until he was 26 years old.
How old was Michael Jordan when he crossed up when he scored 63 against the Celtics?
He was 24 years old.
Okay, so in 2 years.
That was his.
Right, but he was very. He was in how many years in the league was he?
Answer me this: when people compare,
that's what I want.
When people compare him to Jordan, do you think they're actually saying he will be in the GOAT conversation?
No.
I don't think he'll ever be in the GOAT conversation.
To me, it was similar. It was similar to when it happened with Kawhi a couple postseasons ago. When they were not comparing him to early Jordan like they are with Anthony Edwards. They were comparing him to second three-peat Jordan because of the mid-range game and because of the footwork and all of that. Right. I don't think I think the Jordan comps have been in part because there's that silly split screen on the internet where they cut their faces down the middle and you feel like some facial similarities.
But now I got a Kobe comp coming out of nowhere. I just went on. It's like, now he's Kobe too.
Kobe was similar to Jordan
too. Right, but they are. I don't think people are saying Anthony Edwards is going to be, like you said, in the discussion or in a lot of people's eyes, the clear greatest player ever. I do think, though, that it is absolutely fair to talk about, hey, guys at 22 who have been the best 22-year-olds. He is, even if they get rolled tonight, in that conversation.
For the best 22-year-old ever?
Of the list of the best 22-year-olds. I'm doing a little mini project on it. I know what they are. LeBron is, from a team success standpoint, is the best guy, the clear head of the class.
I was saying Magic.
Matt is the best guy, I said. If you think Magic was the best guy, I think Kareem was.
Best on his team?
Best guy on his team. But so Magic and Kobe, as the second best guy, massive team success. They had won multiple championships by the time they were 22 years old. Other than that, it's like Amari Stoudemire with the Suns had an unbelievable run when he was 22. Kevin Durant made a conference finals when he was 22, right in line with this. It's not a long list. So that's the Anthony Edwards stuff. So I agree with you, Brew. I don't think he is under really any pressure tonight. I think he is on a free roll part of it.
Wow.
Because of his age and because they have already overachieved by beating a team that some said no one was going to beat in a 7-game series. I think that was their mini championship. I think it is clearly Karl Anthony Towns. And I heard all those numbers Bruce said, and do you know what stuck out to me the most? Wait a minute. There have been 7 games this postseason. This guy hasn't cracked 18 points. Right. Half the games, he hasn't cracked 18 points. I went back, that NBA GM survey. Mm-hmm. They have been, who do you want to start a franchise with? They've done it.
That was a while, yeah.
Well, but hold on a second. So LeBron won it 8 times. Giannis has won it 4. Duncan 3. And then Shaq won it once. Anthony Davis won it once. Joker won it the most recently. Here are the 2-time winners of it. I mean, you've heard those names. Kevin Durant, Luka, and Karl Anthony Towns won it in consecutive seasons.
Yeah, that was like a hot topic for some reason.
It wasn't for some reason. It was because as a freshman at Kentucky, he had multiple quadruple doubles. It was because he was the #1 pick of the draft, and by the second year, it was like, oh my God, this guy is around 7 feet tall, is shooting 42% from 3. Yep. And now what we have, if we can show his regular season and playoffs, it is no longer a tiny sample size of the playoffs where everything is worse. markedly worse on the offensive end. And that doesn't even get to the biggest bugaboo, which is a foul problem so bad your own teammate says to you at a celebratory press conference, you got to stop effing fouling, bro. And so it's him. If he doesn't want to be man, that guy sure was talented. Wonder why he didn't put it all together. He's got to come through in these spots.
I think Anthony Davis was held in higher regard at this point. But he's kind of where AD was before he won his championship. You know, again, AD was held in higher regard because he's a much better defender. But I think AD, it was like he puts up numbers. Mm-hmm. He can't lead a team to any type of significant playoff victories. And if they were to come back and be able to win this championship, I think everything about Cat changes, assuming he plays well.
But also AD, even in New Orleans, while they only won one series, his numbers in those playoffs were unbelievable.
Cat is a much more skilled offensive player.
Oh, no question about it. But
like I said, I think he's got a number one kind of talent, but he's not the number one mentality. Mm-hmm. And part of it is the silly fouls. I mean, that's just not high basketball IQ.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.